Hello, fantasy owners. Welcome to our first video edition of the Fantasy Report. I'm your host, Crunch Buttsteak. What a wild first week of games. We had it all. We had blowouts, nail-biters, come-from-behind wins. Let's get right to the scoreboard. In Conference A, the Coco No-No Express backed up their championship claim as they defeated Max Megaman 119-111. Express GM Cody Parman confidently exclaimed, "We got this," while Mega Man owner Aaron McIntyre only seemed to be concerned about his golf game. Big D's used the Monday night games to erase a big deficit and down the Horsehead Hitters 83-64. Big D's coach Darren Montgomery was quoted, yeah, that's what the D's for." The real McCoys barely hung on as they knocked off Steeler Nation 99-97. McCoy's GM Steve Montgomery said, "Boy, they're a lot tougher than those Hatfields." In Conference B, the Hormel Spammers used the Brady to Welker connection to blow out the Incredibles 137-86. Owner Brian Weigel was tight-lipped after the contest, mumbling something about knowing better than to open his mouth. When Incredible coach Tracy Weigel was told of the comment, she exclaimed, "Well, that's a first." Ren McCormick's Slugbug used some late Monday night heroics to down Vandelay Industries 98-87. We couldn't get a comment from Slugbug GM Ben Footloose Reinhardt because he couldn't hear us over his dancing. However, we could hear Vandelay owner John Jove screaming from the locker room something about getting upset and feats of strength. In another husband and wife showdown, Mark's Power Surge beat the Killer Dogs 123-78. Power Surge coach Mark Dobbins said, "There, now everyone knows who wears the pants in this family." To which Killer Dogs GM Kelly Dobbins said, "And if that doesn't prove this is fantasy, nothing will." You know, now that we're about halfway through, I'd like to welcome our dial-up viewers. Thanks for joining us. In Conference C, Red Alert jumped ahead and cruised from there as they defeated the Trash Talkers 106-82. Red owner Eric Hilling shouted at his son and winning and grinning coach, "Nah, nah, 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 nah." The Raiders blew out the blundering Herd 118-64. Raiders GM Dave Bungard said, "It's good to be back playing this year. I owe my fantasy success to getting married." Wow. Chanky for Life pulled ahead late and stayed there as they knocked off Jordan's Love Shack 109-94. We tried to get comments from both owners, but they are teenagers, so they don't like to talk to adults. In Conference D, Real Mountain Man was holding out for a win instead of a hero as they survived a late charge by Team Awesome 115-110. When Mountain coach Mike Grizzly Berry was asked if he was proud that he beat a couple of Weigel kids, he responded, "Yes. Yes, I am." So Random started off the season with a win as they defeated Black Bay 83-77. So Random GM Hannah Ferris exclaimed to Black Bay owner Dawson Clevenger, "You just got beat by a girl." Team Awesome Water Boys defeated the team formerly known as Franchise 23, then the Bald Eagles, and currently known as the Oglio-Gindraglioma Killers 101-74. Waterboy coach Garrett Wilson said, "Maybe if he spent more time in drafting good players instead of picking a team name, the game would have been a lot closer." In our two out-of-conference games, the Smashdown Showtimers downed Winnin' and Grinnin' 102-83. Showtimer GM Brian Mowry sneered, "That should wipe the grin off his face." That's pretty harsh considering Winnin' and Grinnin' owner Cody Hilling was still smarting from his father's "nah, nah, 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 nah." And lastly, Beth Brant shone brightly as she beat Rudy's gang 121-92. Brant's coach Sarah Ferris was quoted saying, "See, I knew quitting my job would pay off." Well, this week the Team of the Week honors goes to Brian Weigel and the Hormel Spammers as they scored 137 points in Week 1. Actually, Brian hasn't been seen in public since beating his wife. I'm sure that's just coincidence. Well, that wraps it up from Week 1, folks. Tune in next week for another installment of the Fantasy Report. And remember, if your team name doesn't start with Oglio-Gindraglioma, then it's probably not your team. Thanks, and good night.